To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. So as you know, the last few days I've been gathering some firewood here from different locations. And in yesterday's video you saw that I had to carry this up a very steep hill. It was pretty much one log at a time. The day before that I had to carry it up the hill, but I had the homeowners helping me. So it went a little bit quicker. But yesterday it was pretty strenuous and I ran out of water and my body just really suffered from that. So yesterday I came home, drank some Gatorade, got a good night's sleep. Well, today I'm just really sore. And I'm not the type that complains about being sore, but Carolyn thought maybe I should kind of take it easy today, regenerate my body, especially since I was so depleted on water. What I need to do is I got to get this cut and split. Some of these logs are really long. Like this one here, you can see, very long. So I got to get them cut with the chainsaw. I can swing the maul today. It's not too terribly bad, but it really does get this shoulder for some reason. So I came out and stacked some of the little stuff here. It's really filling this spot up. We're gonna have to find another spot to stack at, keeping it close to the house. Similar to this, the house is right here. So here's the house, and if I just turn around, I was kind of thinking maybe putting it along this tree here and coming on across. That'll also give us a barrier from the road so people can't look over at us. If I stacked it that way, that would be a north-south direction, and it's better to stack in east-west direction. I've learned that. I have that pile down there, and I have two rows north-south and one row east and west, and east and west is drying out so much faster. So that means I could stack it this way, and that's definitely an option. I'm definitely thinking about doing that. We're thinking about it, what we want to do. I know that doesn't seem like a big life crisis, but when you live off-grid, it's pretty much the stress of the day. Where we're going to stack the firewood. So today, I really want to be active. I want to try to do something. So I was thinking about, since I got this used tiller for 150 bucks, then on these days where it's just too hot to do anything, or I'm sore, or whatever the case is, I could come down here and start tilling. I mean, I got quite a bit to till. I got this whole field over here that needs to be tilled. Now the other day I was showing you how I hooked this lawnmower up to the tiller, and I was pulling the tiller with the lawnmower. I think it's important that I try to stay active every day. This is my job. This is what I do for a living, taking care of myself. A lot of people would say, no, you got to go out and get a job. You got to work hard and for somebody else so you can make a paycheck, so you can go out and buy things. But I pretty much can provide everything I need here for myself. If my job is to get on a lawnmower today and tow around a tiller, then maybe that's what I should do. So I can provide food for myself next year. We got the test garden. It worked out really well. We got lots of vegetables out of a very small box of garden. So next year we'll plant corn. When you're doing this, you really got to be careful of snakes. They really will hide out in here. I had a commenter say that he had a snake crawl out from underneath the seat. So ever since he said that, I've been trying to remember to check underneath the seat. The worst thing I got there, it looks like a snail. Also, I've been checking underneath the hood here just to make sure, because my feet are down here. Okay, so just like I showed you the other day, I'm going to hook the tiller up to the back of the lawnmower. So here's the tiller, here's the lawnmower. Now, the tiller is backwards. It's going to run backwards, so as I'm pulling, the blades on the tiller are going to rotate that way. It works out really well. I was really impressed how well this worked out. So I'm going to hook the chain up, but I learned something. So I'm going to show you what I learned. This is the depth gauge, how deep it goes. So the further back this is extended, the more this tiller will lean forward, making it go deeper. So since I'm pulling it backwards, this depth gauge doesn't really do anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the chain not only to pull, so I'll pull it like that, but then I can wrap the chain around the bucket holder, come back down to the tiller, and I can lift it up like so. And then all you got to do here is just knot the chain into a square knot, left over right, right over left. They taught you that in the Navy. Now the chain will come loose. I don't have to bolt it, I don't have to do anything. I'm going to zip tie the clutch down here so I don't have to keep turning around to hold that down while I work. So what I'll have to do is when I'm ready, all I got to do is slip that over. That'll hold it down. And then when I'm done, I can just take it off. Now one of the neat things is I can still tow it without it running because the clutch is not engaged on the tiller. So I've been out here for about an hour. The carburetor, I said this in the last video, I think needs some work on the tiller. I bought it used. I think there's dirt in it. What's odd about it is I've never experienced what is happening to it. It runs for an hour or so, and then it acts like it's running out of gas. Of course, it's got full tank of gas. So I don't know, there's something in there that's getting heated up while there's dirt in it, and it's not running right after about an hour. Once it cools off, it runs fine. So at some point I'll probably clean that. Now something I want to mention with the lawnmower is there's no reason to run the lawnmower very fast, the engine. I turn mine all the way down because the only thing I'm doing is just barely creeping along, and it just doesn't take a lot of power to do that. So just run real slow, and that saves on the engine, saves on gas. The faster you run it, of course, the faster it runs on gas. Something I wish I would have done, I think, which I just did in the center here, is I wish I'd have cut the grass down pretty low because it got all bound up in the tines of the tiller. Now over here, I seem to be doing really well, but on this side, it's a lot more dense, a lot thicker. Dirt, there's rocks and roots and sticks and just all kinds of stuff going on here. So it's going to take some work, but I mean, really, how much work does it take to sit on a lawnmower and just run back and forth? It's kind of fun, actually. Now, the other problem I'm having is this property must have been a racetrack for four-wheelers when I bought it, because there's big old ruts in it. And so they ran back and forth this way, the same direction I'm going with the tiller. I'm going to have to switch directions. I'm going to have to go this way against the ruts. That way I can get them to fill in a little bit. Won't be so bad. I can just run up, and then with that tiller I can just back it up and come back and forth like that. That'll work really well, I think. Now, I've said this many times in my videos, but I highly recommend that you put tire chains on your lawnmower. Now, they make tires that have these knobs like tractor tires, but I think the chains work really well, and they're much cheaper. You can pick up a box of chains for both tires, I think for 50 bucks, whereas each tire, I think, is 50 bucks. It may be even $75 for a tire. And I haven't gotten stuck once since I put these on, and I've really tried to get it stuck. I went down in the woods, up in the creek, and it won't get stuck. This is so much better than just on the tires themselves. I couldn't even back up on this property. This property is on a pretty significant hill, and backing up was impossible. Now I don't have a problem at all. So the whole point I'm trying to make is you can have that dream lifestyle without having all that dream of equipment. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I really dreamt of having this farm with all the big tractors and the big trucks and, you know, all the fancy equipment. The reality is it's so nice having a small place like this I don't have to work really hard at. Still get everything I need. I mean, what do I need with 20 acres with a big tractor? I don't. An acre and a half with a little John Deere lawnmower with some chains on them can do all the work I need. I can even buy a plow for this thing. And I may do that one of these days. I just haven't wanted to invest the money on it. But this property is going to do everything we need it to do to take care of us. It's got the house, it's got the chickens, and one of these days it might have goats, I don't know. Everybody thinks I need goats, I'm just not sure. It's gonna have a garden with lots of corn that we can. This thing's gonna take care of us. I suppose 20 acres would be fine. It's just more to have to watch. It would be nice to have 20 acres so I didn't have to go out and look for free firewood. I could just cut it in my own yard. But at that, I'm not damaging anything by getting other people's firewood. Those people are cutting down the wood themselves anyways. I just as well go and get it. That saves on the environment since they're already cutting it. If I cut it just for firewood, it only serves one purpose, me. Whereas if somebody else cuts it, it serves them and me. So it takes care of two families at once. I hope I can inspire you to think small, but dream big. Thanks for watching.